Welcome to Spearo Diaries with Laura and Elise, two Kiwi mermaids talking about spearfishing and ocean adventures. For our next instalment of Spearo Goodness, we were lucky enough to trap 4 epic spearfishing athletes into an online catch-up with us before they head to Brazil. For this chat, we talked to Dwane Herbert, Kieran Andrews, Chris Marshall and Jeffery Brown, who are heading to the World Championships, which begin on the 25th of November 2025.
These boys will be representing New Zealand. And for those who didn't know spearfishing was a sport, as well as a way to seek your self-selected dinner in Haora, Spearfishing New Zealand, which promotes and advocates for safe and sustainable use of our natural fisheries resources by recreational spearfishers, is the official sporting body for spearfishing in Aotearoa for the New Zealand Underwater Association, our national organising body, and is recognised by Sport New Zealand as a member of the World Underwater Federation.
The CMAS Spearfishing World Championships have existed since 1957. CMAS is recognised by the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, as the sole world governing body for all underwater sports. We have had a huge number of very successful and competitive athletes represent New Zealand over the years, such as Alex Edwards, who came second in the world in 2023. Who we have interviewed about her experience in Spain in episode 13 and 14. Please go check those episodes out. When this episode airs in November 2025, the boys have already made their way to Brazil for the 2025 World Championships, and we can't wait to see them smash their personal goals and the team goals.
Get ready to hear these Kiwi spearing weapons, goals and aspirations for the comp, as well as some of the ins and outs of this competition and the lead up to this epic World Champs. Let's dive in. Well, welcome to Spearo Diaries podcast, the 2025 Aotearoa spearfishing team. Thank you for taking the time to chat to us tonight before you head overseas.
Cheers. We're so excited to chat to you guys before you head to Brazil. You guys are all going to be representing New Zealand in the Spearfishing World Championships. It's going to be a really cool time and we're real excited to see you guys compete. So thank you for coming along.
You're welcome.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, that's good to be here.
And for those listening who don't know who your legends already are, online tonight we have the full team. So we've got our manager Jeffery and the athletes Chris Marshall, Kieran Andrews and Dwane Herbert. And we'll kind of roll into sort of covering what the event is and a little bit about you guys and some things you're looking forward to and all of that. And me and Elise have actually got an ongoing joke that maybe by the end of this episode you guys can help us with the answer to, and it's whether or not the New Zealand spearfishing team needs an official name. We've got a few favourites like the Black Shafts, but you guys can have a little think. Let us know.
Pink shorts,
silver tips. Pink shorts, silver tips, Kiwi snorks.
But in all seriousness, there isn't an official name, so I don't know what the deal with that is, but I'd love to know more about that. But for people who might not know what a spearfishing world champs actually looks like, and Dwane, you might actually be the better person to answer that question. How would you explain what that looks like to someone who has no idea?
To me, I would say it's a very European style of competition. It's a boat comp. You have a species list, obviously, like New Zealand competitions, but in the Worlds, you're on your own, you're individual. You have a boat, and you're allowed to use your boat to go to different spots to fish that you've already scouted. Whereas in New Zealand, our comps are all swim comps, so you'll have to jump in the water at the same place and swim from there. So it's a completely different mindset, the Worlds, to anything that we're sort of used to. The preparation for the Worlds is tenfold on any sort of comp in New Zealand you need to do, in a sense that you need to do your homework and do it properly compared to anything that we experience over here.
And so, like, for those who do know a little bit about, say, the nationals or the Inter-Pacifics, like you said, for swim comps and things, one of the major differences too is that people are solo diving rather than, say, having a sweever or diving in a buddy. That's correct?
Correct. Yeah. And that makes it all. It gives you a good challenge because it means you're on your own and you've got no one else to blame. But also places like Greece and the Med where the fishing is deep, it adds a huge amount of danger to the competition when you're sort of diving over 45 meters all day.
That's quite
But Brazil's not like that.
That's quite a hard thing to get through your head. Like, I feel like when you're diving deeper, knowing that your buddy's on the surface always is quite helpful. So it's probably different thing to get through your mind to be like, no, you're okay with just yourself. Like, it's quite I don't know. I think I'd find that quite hard.
Kind of, it's hard though. If you're at 45 meters and someone's on the surface like your buddy, he can't see you at 45 meters. That's the tricky bit, isn't it? Even if you were two of you, because in those sort of rules, you're allowed one up, one down. So the person that's up hitting 40, and the other person's hitting 45, you got to know your partner pretty well and what they're capable of, because that also adds a bit of danger in itself. But I'd imagine, like Dwane said, if you were in the Med and doing those depths that you are, I suppose you're pushing yourself to the limit, aren't you, Dwane? You know?
In that competition, yeah. I guess, but Brazil's not going to be like that. Obviously,
Yeah.
preparation for this comp is a lot different. And, it wasn't, from what I hear, it's not much deeper than 20 meters, which is good.
Yeah, we've got quite a few questions following, like, about the terrain and, like, the specifics of this comp. But I guess to cover that kind of team part, so, like, you guys are a team, right, and Jeffrey's managing, but you're individual solo athletes when it comes down to it with points, is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, we weigh in individually, but also there's a country classification, so there's an overall ranking for countries. So
Like
obviously
combined
we combine our points in order to rank New Zealand compared with everybody else in the world.
Okay, so sort of like a solo element as well as a team element, then that's quite different. It's quite cool. And who's competed before, just for those who might not know about you guys and your history?
All of us.
We all have.
Yeah.
All in the worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Together before?
Well, yeah. I've dived with Chris last time and then with Kieran in Venezuela in 2008. So through each other, we sort of have, yeah.
Awesome, man. We'll get into some of the nitty gritties that you guys were going to cover, with, like, the terrain and the depth of the specific one. But just with the team, I know there's a few other kind of people involved other than you four. Is it true that Annie's coming along to help and a few other people might be coming to scout? Is that?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Annabelle's coming over. I don't know about scouting, but I've got Kobe, one of my sons, coming over to drive the boat for me as well. So, because we all need a boat driver each. Ideally, it'd be good to have someone to scout with us as well, but it's pretty hard to conjure up someone to come over that far just to look at fish for us.
Yeah, it's true. So cool that Kobe can go.
Yeah. Be good. Cheeky bugger gets a trip to Brazil.
Yeah. I think I got confused the other weekend when Kieran said, I thought he said Toby. And so I was like, because I dive with Toby a bit, I was like, oh, bro, rad that you're going to Brazil. And he was like, oh, that's not me. I wish. I was like, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, and we've also got Dave Shaw from South Seas. He's coming as well, so he's going to drive one of the other boats as well. And I'll obviously drive the boats, which is in a place like Brazil. And from all the talks that I've had with a lot of Brazilians, none of them really speak English. So I think it would hinder us if we had a boatman that didn't speak English, or we had to translate, or it would start to get really difficult. And I think that would be, that would have a negative effect on these three lads. They need to concentrate on the job at hand, and they need their boatmen just to support them and give them a G up and put them where they want to be. So we're pretty lucky that we've had Dave come over for that very reason, which is good. So pretty awesome. Even though he is filming, but he'll be putting the camera down on those 2 days of competition.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be one boat per person, pretty much, per competitor. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so who's got the fastest boat out of you three?
They haven't drawn straws yet.
No.
Yeah, it's supposed to be drawn on
We're
that.
gonna have to find out when we get there.
Oh no.
The lovely boat owners decided to give us 3 brand new ladders on the back of his commercial fishing boats though this week, so that was nice of them.
That's very nice of them.
Which I didn't even ask him. He's just decided he thought he'd make it more comfortable for us, which is bloody big of him, and servicing all the engines and that. So they quite like the idea of us Kiwis coming over there. I know they don't like the Spanish, the Brazilians, after centuries of torment. So that's got to work in our favour too.
Do you ever get worried about, like, when you're organising things, that it's a, like, trusted source? Like, do you reckon anyone, when you're organising things from this country to that country, they'll just, like, mess with you a little bit? Like, so they'll get paid off by another team to, like, not bring your weights or anything like that?
Yeah, there was definitely a bit of that. Our main guy, Edson, he's dove that area for over 30 years. And my best friend, Veronica, her brother married a Brazilian, and just so happens he's a Rio de Janeiro legend diver who runs the clubs and the masters and things. And he's given us Edson. So from that connection, I was pretty sure that Edson will look after us. And he's been bloody awesome, to be honest. Even though he doesn't speak a word of English, he's been really helpful and helped us with the boats and things. And he's going to take us out in the early stages and try and get us some fish that we might just want to tick off our list as a bonus while we're over there. Yeah, no, he's just been a godsend, really. I don't know where I would have turned, actually, how I would have attacked that one if it wasn't for him. So, if he comes through and he's actually legit, which I'm sure he will be, I'm a big couple of thanks, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And how about your Portuguese? Has everyone been practicing that?
Terrible.
I've got translation headphones.
Oh.
It's a shame it's not Spanish, because I can nail Spanish, I reckon, but Portuguese is a fun.
I think if you start speaking Spanish at them, it's not going to help things.
That's not going to help.
Nah. And generally,
you don't need to speak Portuguese to the fish anyway, so you'll be all right, guys.
Yeah, just make the eyes at the fish.
Just for those who might be aspiring to kind of end up where you guys are one day, and obviously diving 45 metres is a bit of a feat, but how did you guys make the team? Just in brief, like you've competed in nationals comps, obviously, and placed highly. That's pretty much it, eh?
Yeah, the deal is it's basically based on the last 3 years of nationals. Your best two out of 3 years, with a little bit of weighting towards the most recent. But I mean, like, and then it just comes down to who can make it. Like, in that ranking, Bestie and Jacko, are number 1 and 2. So, but they weren't able to make it. It's a hard thing because you have to take a lot of time off. It limits who can go, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that given the opportunity, I know that Jacko's been, but I'm sure that they would like to go. But the cost and the time off and everything, it's pretty tough.
If cost and money and time were not a thing, it would be. I'm sure there'd be a lot more people. It just shows your commitment
and the women's,
too, though,
right?
for you guys. Yeah.
Exactly.
For the women's, if there was a bit more of a team,
problem.
we would have been a bit more. Like, I definitely would have chucked my. I was super keen, but just didn't work out. But also, I'm a baby diver. I've got a lot more years to go before I feel like I could actually compete at the Worlds and not come last. So, yay!
I suppose that's the beauty of our sport, though. It really doesn't matter how young and old you are. We can all breathe and we can all push ourselves. So, It's not like a swim comp where the endurance really comes too much into it from the longevity of swimming. But, you can be a bit older and you can aspire to do it for sure.
And Elise just doesn't want to blow her own trumpet. She would have done great, and I'm sure she'll go another year. And I mean, the state of women's in New Zealand is I actually qualified, and I cannot dive to 45 metres. So there is hope for us yet.
Oh, mate. Give us 10 years, Laura's gonna marry some real rich dude, he'll just pay for... Nah, we'll get our own pot of money, thank you very much.
Let's move on.
You
We'll
don't need to-
find our own money in time, damn it.
In all
You
seriousness,
don't need
though,
45 meters to dive in Brazil. You'd need a shovel to make 45 in the zones.
Yeah.
So
I'd just
we'll be
bribe all the
fine.
boatmen somehow. We'd
Yeah,
figure
there you
it
go.
out.
Chuck us an extra fish in
You
there.
girls would probably get too distracted by the hot Brazilian men, I would imagine, wouldn't you?
I don't know about that.
Sorry,
I don't
guys.
know.
Moving along. Now I'm distracted. In all seriousness, though, like you guys have been putting in a lot of work to get there, and it's not like you've just rocked up and gone, oh, yeah, we did all right at One Nationals. I mean, you guys are all, high-level elite divers, and we're looking forward to hearing a little bit more about, like what you're expecting when you're there and what you've been doing to prep and all that kind of stuff. But obviously it's years and years of your diving that's going to lead up to this. It's not just, these months. And we're very excited for you guys, and I'm pumped to see how you do. And, that's just why we wanted to get on here and hear about it before you go, and hopefully you'll still want to talk to us when you get back and tell us how it went as well.
Yeah, totally. Tell us that you've won. So how many other countries compete in the Worlds?
I
Thinking.
believe there's about 75 competitors.
Wow.
And I think there's about 27 countries, I believe. If I'm correct on that one. Some teams are bigger than others, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
the qualification, that each current country has to qualify in their own region, and then each diver qualifies for their country.
okay.
So
And
rather than the nationals, you mean, do they do kind of like you'd have like Waikato, Auckland area? Is that what you mean?
No, as in like we qualify through Pan-Pacifics, Inter-Pacifics rather. The Europeans, it's Euro-African Championships, and then there's Pan-American, and each zone gets a certain number of people. I think Kieran's pizza's arrived.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
athlete's
that-
just getting his nutrition delivered. Love that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once your country's qualified, then each country's responsible for selecting their team. So obviously we've got selection criteria for New Zealand, but before we get to selection, New Zealand has to qualify. If we bomb out of Interpacks, we can't. We won't qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, there's 26 nations.
There we go.
So you got the Pac 24, which is Chile, Peru, Brazil, and Uruguay. They're obviously probably two of them are probably up there with the favourites because they've been there the last couple of months. Brazil had their nationals there this year.
in São Francisco do Sul.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
you can actually look it up online. You can have a look at the state of the fish there. Their chili bins are massive, and their chili bins are chocker. So there's a lot of fish there. And then obviously Pacific Oceania, we've got Tahiti, New Zealand, Australia. And then it's Euro Africa. So we've got Turkey, Croatia, Spain, Italy, and France. That's the top 5. And then Algeria, Tunisia, Ukraine, which is kind of crazy because where Ukraine is. Montenegro, Bulgaria, Finland, Portugal, and Denmark. And then Libya, Great Britain, Greece, Norway, and Cyprus. And Argentina rounds off the last one. So, and France, Norway, Italy. So yeah, quite a big bunch. I'm surprised out of all of that we haven't got the US.
US are going, aren't they?
Oh,
I've seen them. I've seen them.
They must have slipped in there. It mustn't be on the CMAS thing. So
they're on there. Yeah,
I'd be
I've seen
very
them
surprised.
like fundraising to get there and stuff. Like definitely the women are going. I've seen like
Good.
a few women going, and I was like, yeah, girl, get it. Yeah, they look like they're pretty good spearos. I mean, just from one photo. And for anyone following along on the competition, it is the 26th of November till the 29th of November 2025. Is there a way that people will be able to follow along and watch you guys or keep updated every day?
Yeah, they could check out the Spearfishing New Zealand Facebook page. I'll be doing updates as we go along, and
Awesome.
the fish we're catching, because there'll be fish that people have never seen before. How the boys are doing, and just a bit of an insight of the facilities and ceremony and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'll be one of my jobs while I'm not studying a map to keep everyone in check. I know Dave will be sending a few videos to TVNZ.
Cool.
I'm hoping that those videos will get up on a couple of the news coverage places. So yeah, there'll be a few things. I know CMAS they're going to create a channel for it as well. And so that'll also be there. So once those all come through, because CMAS are a little bit slow at organising anything, I'll be flicking links up on probably the New Zealand Spearo Forum as well as the Spearfishing New Zealand page, so people can click that and follow it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That'd be awesome. I remember for the inner packs down in Coromandel in Mercury Bay, they're having the updates every day was pretty cool, and it was fun to follow along, and I know lots of people are keen to see those, so if we could get some of that going as well, you're going to make a lot of people happy.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
And is it, dumb question, is it every 2 or 4 years, the World Champs?
2.
2.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
And opposing to the inner packs, right?
Inner packs used to be 1, but now it's gone to every 2 as well. So it's sort of, yeah, alternating like you say.
Okay.
This one was kind of pushed forward a bit quicker though, wasn't it? Because their organisation wasn't very good on the when they knew Brazil was going to happen. It was a shorter amount of time than usual.
6 months? Or...
Yeah, it wasn't confirmed for a long time. So generally at the end of the last Worlds, they will say the next World will be in 2 years at so and so, whereas it wasn't even announced until this year.
Yeah,
maybe 6 months ago, which it's actually, to me, it's probably not a bad thing, because it, like, if the Worlds are, say, in Europe, the European countries are close and easy to go and scout, and if they know 2 years in advance where it is, they can repetitively go back and check spots and do their homework.
Place and terrain questions, friends. So basically, yeah, we'll go through a few of you. So Chris, can you tell us where it is held exactly?
Yeah, so the comp's in San Francisco del Sol, San Francisco of the South, which is about 4 hours or so south of Rio. And we've got 2 zones plus a backup zone. The backup zone would be hilarious because it's basically inside a harbour. And I have no idea what would happen if we had to resort to that one. But yeah,
is it likely to have dodgy weather? Like, is it pretty reliable that you wouldn't need to have that 3rd zone?
Well, I think they'd probably work pretty hard to not have us in that zone because it looks pretty awful.
In saying that, I see the Tahitians have been over there already a couple of weeks, and they've had to spend a lot of time on shore because they haven't been able to dive.
Oh.
So it makes me wonder or worry that we might end up having to be inside that zone 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Which also shooting in the shadows and the dustiness might come in favour for us too.
I don't even think I'd get in, eh?
I think you love it, Dwane.
You'll be getting in, Dwane, mate. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, I'll be kicking you overboard.
I don't know.
Kind of how warm is the water was my next question. So I'm sort of picturing where, and I'm kind of just, I guess, wanting to know, like, what's the terrain like, say, compared to New Zealand? What's the temperature of the water like comparatively?
So at the moment, the sea surface temperature chart is showing it's 21 degrees. That can fluctuate from what we know quite considerably. Some of the intel that we've been given is that there can be a hard thermocline at depth, and the water just drops in temperature 4 or 5 degrees at that thermocline. So have been told that the fish really aren't in the cold water below that thermocline, but you don't really know until you get there. Done quite a bit of YouTube scouting on this one, and it seems like it's a lot of big boulder country. And then there's a lot of stuff where it's shooting fish out of the white water and things like that. A lot of the species in that sort of area are similar to things that we hunt here. There's snappers and things that are kind of like a red moki, trevallies and giant versions of kahawai and stuff like that. So, but it's a bit of a mix of almost tropical stuff and cold water stuff as well.
Yeah, and what's the expected depth range? I know you guys were saying 45 meters before, but one of the things I heard, or me and Elise got told about this Worlds, is that it's going to be quite a shallow Worlds compared to normal, if that makes sense. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
20 meters max roundabout. All the Bassie chart top out at 23 meters in the comp zones, really. So, yeah.
Okay. And so you've got this kind of less intense depth. You've got that kind of terrain, some of the fish that you think you'll recognise, and you've got, is it 2 days worth of competing?
Yeah, two 5-hour days.
And obviously they have some backup weather days and some backup locations and all that kind of stuff. And I think we've covered
Not really. They don't. That's why they've
Not
got
really?
this other zone. So if the outer doesn't work, we'll be in the inside. I don't think they've even registered a reserve day on it.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's similar to our nationals in that there's rules around, like, if they can't hold, that it's a valid comp if it's 1 day of, 3 hours minimum or something. So, like, in theory, if things are really terrible, we could be diving inside a harbour for 3 hours, and that's World Championships. But,
World champion divers dive in
whatever.
all conditions, right? In all places and all conditions. So
Well, I suppose it comes down to that first day is the most important, right? In a way, if the weather packs in the day after, and if you can really put a good score together, that might serve you really well. If it shits itself, so yeah. Boys will
And
be
what
going to
kind of
bed nice and
size-
early that night. They will.
they'll do as they're told. The
Yeah.
manager will tell them off.
That's
You're
right.
going to tuck them in, or
Absolutely, massage is the works. They'll get the full works. Don't worry.
nice, right? And the area that you've got. I was just sort of thinking about what I know very little about comps, obviously, compared to you guys with Worlds, but I know enough about that. With swimming comps, you normally have a designated area, and it's pretty like you do swim past other competitors. With a boat comp, is it a wider area and that you're not as likely to see other people, or are you likely to pull up on each other and see each other's boat and be trying to go to the same cave? Or
That'll definitely happen.
Yeah.
I think my second spot on first day in Spain resulted in someone trying to drop someone directly on my head because we both knew a conga was there, and that resulted in me sprinting down before someone else could get there. So yeah, there'll definitely be some of that.
are there rules against that kind of sportsmanship?
Yeah. It's hard to enforce in the moment, but yeah, you're supposed to give other divers a bit of space, but it's pretty difficult in reality. Like, we've all found, we're likely to all find quite a lot of the same stuff, and so in Spain, I deliberately didn't go to the couple of best places, because I just knew that they were so obvious. You could see them from the shore, you could see them on the chart, you could tell that they were going to be really good areas, and I was just certain that I wouldn't be alone in there, and I'd rather go for something where I would have a better chance on my own. So there's a bit of gamesmanship there. There's a bit of planning and decision making, and it might pay off. Maybe everyone decides that they don't want to dive that obvious spot, or maybe everyone, you have 3 divers all going for the same groper at the beginning of a comp. You just never know.
Sounds like it can be a little bit tactical there. Chris, what species are you most keen on landing?
I'd love to get a cobia while I'm over there. I mean, the odds of that happening during the comp are pretty minimal, but if we do have some time to do some fun diving in the lead up, I'd love to get a cobia. Never shot one, never seen one.
That'd be
It should
pretty
all be
cool.
fun
And
diving.
Dwane, what about you? Have you got a dream fish that you'd like to snag while you're there?
Not really. Like would just want to go and see what different species are there, and sort of just I guess diving somewhere different is always like a good challenge and a good experience itself. So no, I haven't really got any one bucket list fish to tick off there. I just it'd be cool just to dive there and experience it.
Choice. And lastly, Kieran, what about you? Yeah, I mean, Jeff, you'll be busy managing, so you might be in the water, you might not. But Kieran, tell us about are you keen to get a certain species of fish at all?
Yeah, probably not in the comp zones. If we have a rough weather day, I'll try and find somewhere with some fresh water and go and chase. They've got a fish over there called an Arapaima. Big,
Okay.
long, silver, freaky looking fish. Either one of those or a golden dorado. So they're on my bucket list of oddball stuff that I want to spear or catch on a rod or just get them some way, shape or form. But in the comp zones, like Chris, the only fish that I shot on the second day of the world's, or first day of the world's second day, sorry, was a cobia. So yeah, there is a chance.
That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
But yeah, those oddball freshwater fish would be fun if we get some time.
I mean, what was it called? A golden dorado. I don't even know what that looks like, but it just sounds awesome.
Yeah, they have some real quirky freshwater stuff over there. So yeah, better than rainbow trout anyway.
Okay. And Jeffrey, are you going to get in the water at all? Are you going to be sipping cocktails on the beach when you're not being a boatman?
Oh, yeah, that would be nice actually to have a month of just doing that. But no, I need to get in the water, and I need to do my homework too, because if one of these guys end up sick and ill, I'm going to have to jump in their place. So, so yeah, no, I definitely will be. I'll be helping them scout, but keeping my eyes on what's going on as well. And I'm just happy to hit anything over there, really, because it'll be a first regardless. So it's always nice to see a new fish and a different fish, and see how those different fish fight and things is the fun thing.
Cool.
We've all had thingy before. We know how they fight, and we like the challenge, but we're hitting a certain fish and we don't actually know how it fights. So something a bit different. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I said if I had a month non-stop in New Zealand, I'd probably get quite bored. But I think a month non-stop in Brazil, I probably won't get quite bored, because everything's new and fresh. Like Dwane said, that's quite exciting for a diver to see a new terrain and learn and see different things, which is cool.
So most of the species there, like most of you guys, haven't encountered them, or are there some crossovers within different regions that you've dove?
A bit of a mix. There's quite a few species that I would never have dived with, but you still have like kingfish over there. Asians have shot a kingfish already, so they're around. They've got Taylor, lots of things by different names, obviously, but there is a bit of stuff that'll be pretty familiar to us, especially if you've dived in Oz or dived in the tropics or something as well. But then there's just a whole lot of other stuff which I'd never seen before. So the legal fish list is 68 different species.
Wow.
So
Made a little booklet.
Quite a lot of
a little picture booklet. I genuinely would. I'm not taking the piss.
No, yeah, I'm not either.
Little terrain, little bit of a behaviour bio next to each one. Or?
Yeah, we're gonna have to create some notes.
And 13 are protected. So there's also a list there, and the gropers, by the look of it, are quite challenging because there's quite a few protected, and the ones that aren't look quite similar to the ones that are protected. So they're the ones you'll have to do your homework on. Don't want to hit the wrong one, you get disqualified. Go over there, be in the water an hour and get disqualified will be a disaster. So,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
okay.
but turning down, like a comb groper or something that's a really big fish worth a lot of points, it's going to be hard to turn that down when you're just looking at it going, are you the right kind of groper or are you the naughty kind?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's the protected ones and there's also just the ones that aren't allowed for the competition.
Okay.
So the protected ones are the ones that'll get you in trouble with the authorities.
Yeah.
The ones that are just not valid for the competition, you're still going to get penalised for it.
So you can lose points if you shoot the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Or get DQ'd.
Or something or something undersized. Yeah, if you shoot a protected species, obviously you're going to get DQ'd. So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
In New Zealand, like in our nationals and stuff, like for example, if we shoot a blue mau mau and it's undersized and we're like there's no size limit to it for anyone listening and wondering about that, but it's more just about like the actual comp says they have to be like, say, 400 grams or 450 grams. We would put like one of those aside and like shoot another one until you get the one that's the right size, or if you're unsure, you might get another one just as big. In the worlds, if you do that, every single one that you shoot counts, right? So you have to be quite careful.
Yeah, you can't do that over there. Everything you shoot gets weighed.
Ugh.
So if you've got like 3 of a species, and you shoot one that goes over the limit, but 2 that are just under, you can't shoot no matter how many more you see, you can't shoot anymore.
Yeah.
That's you done. And it also means you can't get, like the scoring system is complicated, but it means you won't get bonuses for completing a species and stuff like that. So it's it's quite high stakes every time you see a fish. Of like, hey, is this definitely big enough? Will I see another one that's definitely bigger? Yeah, you there's no high grading or anything like that. Everything you shoot gets weighed.
Okay.
Including penalties.
Yeah, there's penalty as well. So same as New Zealand, if you shoot a fish that's less than 2/3 the minimum weight, so if the minimum weight's 500 grams and you shoot something that's at 250 grams, you'll get a penalty for that as well. So,
Will you guys be using GoPros heaps in your scouting?
Yeah, we do have GoPros, but I don't know whether we'll be religiously using them or not. It just depends on the day. I've seen it looks like it's quite dirty over there, so probably wouldn't be able to get any good footage. But who knows, that we might get a string of good luck and some good viz might come through and it might make it look nice. But at this stage,
more like IDing, like so you could kind of go home that night and go, hey guys, I reckon this is a blah blah blah, and you could look at it more like it for that kind of purpose.
Well, there you go. That's a good idea.
That's what I mean. Not for pretty shit.
That was
I mean,
that's my plan. That's definitely my plan for the groper and stuff. Identifying those harder species.
All right. Well, the next section we've got is training and scouting, but we have kind of covered some of that. We basically wanted to know like what kind of training you guys have been doing. We obviously recently caught up with Kieran, I think last weekend, and he was doing some local diving around Bay of Plenty, which he took us out for. But in terms of like training, are you guys all on a training program? Are you just kind of doing your own gym stuff, pool stuff, and winter diving? So in terms of training, Dwane, I mean, you work quite a lot of hours. Are you finding that you're like more purposeful about what you're doing at work when you're training, or are you kind of just pretty sure that it keeps you fit for what you're doing?
Yeah, probably just hoping that it keeps me fit, to be fair. Yeah. What about the other guys? Chris seems to be doing a fair bit.
It's been a pretty awful year so far, to be honest. I've been kind of sick on and off, pretty much the whole year since just before Stewart Island Nationals last year. So, yeah, I've been, having spurts of being able to actually do some diving, and then getting sick, and then having like, 2 months outside the water. So it's my expectations are gradually dropping and dropping and dropping over what I'll be able to do. But it is what it is, and to a degree, like the hunting and all of that is going to be much more of a thing than pure diving ability, even repeat diving ability, I think. So I'm just hoping and trusting that I still have enough hunting ability to get me through.
Yeah, so resting and reading your fish booklet sounds like your training. Nothing wrong with
watching
those two
YouTube,
options.
trying to find Brazilian spearfishing channels.
Yeah.
Kieran?
Yeah. Oh, for me, for training, like I've been landlocked with the weather that's been floating around this year mostly. So I've been doing quite a bit of running when I've been able to. I started training for a half marathon that I'm actually not going to do because I ended up with a bit of a calf tear and I can't risk the competition on tearing it again. But the times that I have been diving, focusing quite a bit on using real short guns. So you girls that saw that little 75 centimeter gun. Not something I would normally shoot fish with, but it's been a blast. And then just practicing shooting fish in holes, something that I'm not particularly good at. So, and then just gouging as well, just finding fish in places I wouldn't normally. So swimming big pieces of real crap coastline, trying to pull fish out of those and make it hard for myself rather than just going to good spots the whole time. So that's kind of been my my training there, and then just mental stuff as well, just preparing for a couple of days of just getting habit and being competitive and putting yourself in the right mental space.
Have you guys made any changes? I know you're talking about being sick, Chris. So I guess anything around, like, I know when I get sick, I get a lot of, like phlegm in my nose and my ears get munted, all that kind of stuff. So in terms of like health-wise, have any of you done any kind of drastic stuff around your diet or alcohol or coffee or anything like that? We'll start with you, Dwane.
Yep, knocked off the alcohol for a couple of months. I've got to say, though, it's never bode me well knocking off the alcohol before a comp. Usually if I go in and not worry about it and have the odd beer beforehand, I seem to be more relaxed and do better, but it's sort of a mind game as well. If you knock off, you sort of feel like you're getting fitter and more focused. So, yeah. Haven't knocked off the coffee, still drinking coffee every day, but still doing a bit of fitness as well, I guess.
Will you still drink coffee when you're actually competing? Is that something you normally knock off during those days?
No, not really. Just one in the morning, I guess, and by the time you get in the water, it's usually been a few hours, and away you go.
Cool. What about you, Kieran? Have you changed any of your hydration or supplements or anything like that? Are you...
It's not that I've changed anything, but a couple of years ago, I started taking an amino acid just for recovery. And that's made the world of difference to me. So if I take one of those the day before the day of and the day after, my recovery time just physically is a whole lot better. Outside of that, no, I haven't knocked off the beers or coffee or anything like that. It's kind of baked into what I do day to day. So, yeah.
You're piss fit. We know you're piss fit. You've told me that before.
Yeah, I am absolutely piss fit.
What about you, Chris?
No drastic changes really. Yeah, I haven't been too bad on sinus and congestion. It's just been like post-viral inflammation stuff that I've been dealing with. So luckily that doesn't mean that I've had any issues with my ears or my sinuses or anything. I did get in the water last weekend and had no equalization issues or anything like that. So that's good. But I don't tend to have tremendous problems with food or drink or anything like that. I'm not going to go crazy about it, but I'll probably be vaguely sensible about things. Let me go over there. I've got the non-alcoholic beers. They're pretty awesome these days. Still taste the same.
What about you, Jeffrey? And I was thinking too about you guys flying and stuff. Maybe I'm just very a broken, diseased person, but I find flying messes with my ears and my sinuses and my hydration as well. Is that something you guys worry about?
I've knocked off a few things, but then in heaven. I just figure we've got enough focus time there before we're there, and that's where I'll focus my things on. The last 6 months for me, organising this and points has been quite stressful. Being a single dad and running a house and being busy as a plumber, so having these my coffee, especially in the morning, and a few beers is actually, I think I would have gone mad if I didn't have those little releases in pressure. So yeah, the focus would definitely change as soon as we hit the ground. I know myself in that first week I'll probably be quite a bit busier than these boys, just joining the dots together of the things I've organised. And once we're all smooth and we've got a plan and everything's in line, then that'll be the time for me to just chill off a little bit and let these boys focus on getting the info and helping them get the info they need to do well. So yeah, that'll be my focus when I'm there and my sort of cut off on my training. So
Nice, happy days.
What kind of gears what kind of gear are you guys going to be taking over? I know, Kieran, you're taking a 75 centimetre. Is that specifically just for holes? Like, is there a lot of caves over there that you're expecting?
Yeah, I'm expecting there to be a number of different fishing holes, especially when you put gropers on the list. As soon as they get any pressure, they tend to go to ground. I'm also taking a 1 metre gun for fish sort of out in the open, but that little 75 is kind of multi-purpose for diving, and it's fast and pointable and bad viz as well. So that's kind of its role. And then I've got pranger shafts with the multiple barbs on it for shooting fish in holes too. So just something a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just going double rubbers or
No,
single rubber or
singles for
you
everything.
going? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is anyone taking a roller gun, or are we just going basics? Or
Yeah, I don't think anyone will be using a roller gun. Obviously, with a comp, you need it to be simple and quick and easy to reload real quick. So I think it's just going to be single band shafts that shoot real straight, real quick will be the key.
Cool. Love it. Awesome. Is there any gear that you absolutely could not lose, like on the flight over? Is there like a mask that you'd be devastated to lose at all, or yeah, something lucky in your kit?
probably three competitors actually. That'll be a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, we want to get the competitors there, that's for sure. Their man will be gear.
I've certainly got like my preferred gear, but it's not like one lucky mask or something. I'll be bringing like 2 or 3 of everything. Just, I'll be bringing like 3 identical masks and 3 snorkels, and you just don't want to have to worry about like losing something on a scouting day and then panicking that you don't have like what you're going to normally want to use for the comp. So just bringing lots of everything.
Would it be fair in saying if, because Garmin have been really great for us, hooking us up and being our major sponsor, and they've given us some sounders and top of the range sounders to put on the boats, which the fisherman has allowed us to be able to put these on, and just losing one of them actually would doesn't make it even as a team or as 3 individuals, and to lose that piece of technology, which I think is going to really help us in a new area we've never been. I think that's probably, the one thing I wouldn't want to lose in luggage. So at least each one of us are even within the boats, I reckon. We can replace a spear gun, we can replace gloves, booties, whatever. That over there trying to get, because their import tax is so high, especially over there, to replace that in such a short amount of time would be a real hindrance to one of the competitors. And then what will we do? Paper, scissors, rock to who doesn't have on their boat. So I reckon that would be the one bit of kit we wouldn't want to lose whilst we're traveling.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been really, really lucky with sponsors. Garmin's been pretty incredible. It's probably helped that Kieran's a athlete on the team, I'm sure. But yeah, what other sponsors have you got supporting you guys?
sponsors have been a real tricky one this time around, especially speaking to people that have been there and done that as well. They normally have got a lot more time to organise it, and when it dropped, a lot of the big budgets had already been out from the big sponsors. So trying to convince them into twisting a budget to help us, it's pretty hard and impossible. So we actually got quite a few smaller sponsors. So we got it was mostly for the raffle that we got the sponsors from like Capital Fishing and here in Wellington, even my tattoo artist from down the road here helped us out. Just small little no-namers. Cat from Opticals helped us out, which has been really great. And Ocean Hunter and Dive Wellington. So it's just really been a collective of a bunch of little ones for this one.
Yeah.
I think I had another 6 months up my sleeve. We would have met the budgets. We could have, got the larger companies involved. But also this year round, it's people, the current climate. A lot of people, especially in the retail market, people aren't spending money. So these companies don't have the influx of the money coming in. So that's also been a factor. So yeah, but from the little guys to just jump up and give us a hand has been awesome. Actually, I've noticed a few things within the sport and the powers and how the sponsorship works. It's all been a bit of a learning curve for me, but yeah, really appreciative of these younger, small single people companies just jumping on board and helping out, which has been great. So
sweet. Do you want to give a bit of a shout out to the people that have helped you out so far?
Yeah, totally. I'd love to give a shout out to Mana Moku, Te Rewa's Pukerua Bay, and Ocean Hunter Wellington, Dive Wellington. Who else we got? Cat from Optical. It's been really great. And Felix from Capital Fishing. So all of those guys have been just awesome. So yeah,
And Duncan Henderson.
Yeah, Duncan Henderson deserves a big shout out. He's just put his hand up to make us all our rubbers, restring our guns, shafts, organised Dwane, which has been quite good. Get his stuff down there. No, it's really quite good, and I'm quite happy that in the raffle, Duncan actually came second and picked up the tattoo voucher. So a bit of karma came back to Duncan, which is awesome. And yeah, man, he's just like countless hours making, I think, 24 meters of rubber.
Wow.
So
yeah, I got a care package from him yesterday, full of spears and reels and extra mono and extra dynamo and a bunch of rubbers and stuff. So yeah, but lots of small things, ants coming to the table from Boshar for
yeah.
For things like rubber and the like, and of course Garmin has really stepped up with some big ticket items for us, which is amazing because like that's a significant thing, like not just the sounders, which is a huge deal, like the big impressive sounders, better than anything I've got on my boat, that's for sure. But also Mark III watches, which is amazing.
Hell yeah.
Like without like when you're scouting these places, you just don't have time to mess about trying to call a boat over and stuff like that when we've got limited time. In Spain, it made a huge difference being able to, just go mark a spot, and then look at them the next day, load them onto the sounders later, and be able to navigate straight to them. Like it would have been so much harder to do what we did without that.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And I suppose Spearfishing New Zealand too. They've jumped on board with us, even though they're our governing power, the governing body. They've jumped on and been really helpful. So Jenny, as usual, definitely helped me through this process, been with her wealth of knowledge. So that's been really good. And the Underwater Association of New Zealand has been great. without them getting over the line with the with CMAS and trying to organise that. So Andrea there she was total rock at that, getting that through. So she deserves a big thank you, that lady, because she's just been awesome. So she's not only in a mad rush to get us through, she had to get New Zealand underwater hockey through, in a similar issue, because this year we have to do our Olympic grade doping certificate. So yeah, there was a moment there I didn't quite think we were going to get over the line, but she helped us get through that, which was great.
And we all know how to not dope now, so that's handy.
Oh yes, because there's some pretty significant drug tests and some random things that can get picked up in there. Is there anything that surprised you about that? Like, I mean, besides from regular drugs that you shouldn't be taking anyway, right? But like nasal sprays or something.
Sedatives, they've been using sedatives in the freedive world for a wee while.
Really?
And some people can go and hit a crazy ass depth, and then 3 weeks later can't even get close to it, and they've been wondering why, and that's why they've changed it. Slows your heart rate down, and first and foremost, I suppose that and alone in that code is a danger to the diver. And also
beta blockers is the big one over there.
Yeah,
in the freediving world. Yeah, it slows your heart rate. They'd be rubbish for spearfishing, because you wouldn't be able to recover between dives. Be hilarious watching someone who just can't increase their heart rate when they hit the surface. But yeah, like I guess I'm not surprised by it, because I've come from a freediving background, so I've been to like eight freediving world champs. So
yeah, okay.
I've kind of know the wider list by now, but yeah, I've never been needed to do a random test or anything. So
yeah,
one day I'll have to pee in a cup, but
yeah,
we'll see.
By all accounts, I think this year we probably will, because it's the first year they've brought it in, and generally when they make these changes, they want to implement them. Whether or not it's going to be that organised in Brazil itself, but by all accounts, I think there will be a point of time where everyone will have to do it. So
yeah, I think it's about $1,000 per test though, so it's pretty expensive for them to test everybody.
For the old pee in the cup test.
Yeah.
Wow, who knew it was so expensive?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not the pee that's expensive, just to be clear. Not unless you're very good at marketing, I guess. I know that there's forums for that, but I don't know them.
Cool. We won't keep you guys much longer. We've got a couple of we've got 3 quick fire questions for each of you before we wrap up. And we'll start with Kieran. And the first question is just what's one of your personal goals? Doesn't have to necessarily be competition related. It could be anything to do with going to the World Champs. But yeah, a personal goal.
It's got to be to win it. You got to have the headspace. You're going there to win. So yeah, personal goal, get at the top of the podium.
Happy days. And what are you most looking forward to?
Winning.
Apart from being on the podium.
Just winning and snatching beers. No, I'm actually just looking forward to the trip overall, to be fair. Hanging out with a really good bunch of people and going there to be competitive. So yeah.
Nice. And the last of the 3 fires is what are you most worried about or concerned about?
Probably getting stabbed or shot. Yeah. Yeah. South America, come on, let's face it.
We're talking in the water or out of the water there?
Either or, at some point, trouble follows you around. Yeah.
Trouble with the spear guns, you get stabbed and shot all at the same time.
It's one of the most affluent areas in Brazil, mate. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, same for you.
Sure.
Personal goals or personal goal?
I'd love to do better than I did last time, but last time I did way better than I expected to. So that's that's a long shot, but it's worth a try.
Good goal.
And what are you most looking forward to?
Learning to hunt new species. Everything's different. Every country's different. I'm going to learn something new.
And what are you most worried about? Should it be different to than getting stabbed, hopefully?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Johannesburg, South Africa, so that's
It'll be a holiday.
probably a bit worse. Yeah, probably my biggest concern is just that I've been sick so much this year that I'm pretty nervous that I'm just not going to be up to it. But, fingers crossed. What can you do at this point? At worst, I'm scouting for Jeff.
I'll rub my crystals for you, Chris.
Sweet.
Sweet. Sorry. Sweet. So, Dwane, how about yourself? Are you got any personal goals while you're over there, or is there anyone that you're specifically watching out for?
No, like pretty much along the same lines as those two boys. Especially same as Chris with the last one. Pretty disappointed. I reckon New Zealand could be on a podium. That would be a goal. Get New Zealand team there. I think we've got the divers. We just haven't done the recipe right. And I think hopefully this time we do it properly and see some results, see some positiveness.
Awesome. I feel like you guys are going to bring in some pretty good results regardless. Yeah, I'm expecting you guys, number 1, number 2, number 3. You can all figure it out once you get there, who wants to be who. What are you most looking forward to about heading over?
Yeah, definitely same as Chris, just a different experience, different waters. So there's different fish, learning how to hunt the fish, learning the terrain. Yeah, it's quite exciting to have never dived somewhere like this and expecting to see different species that we haven't seen before.
Cool. Awesome. And have you got any concerns or worries that you have in the back of your mind for heading over, or are you just feeling pretty chill about it all?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm just flat out here with work, so I'll be starting to think about it when I'm on the plane there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then dialing in, but no real concerns. The biggest concern is that the weather's shit and we end up inside the harbour.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
that wouldn't be that would be a bit disappointing going all the way over there to swim around in a pea soup harbour.
Yeah.
Which is, to be fair, is very viable. From what I gather, it could be on the cards.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's not the way it goes. Yeah, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything's crossing for that one. And Jeff, as a manager, I mean, I can kind of guess what your personal goal will be here, but what are your personal goals for managing the team while you're there?
Yeah, just making sure that I'm hoping that everything that I've organised goes in alignment, really, and take any pressure and worry off these guys so they can solely just concentrate on the job at hand and not have to worry about any logistic. They just get in their gear, get in their boat, go scout, come back. That's what I'm really hoping for. And expect of myself to do as responsibility of the manager to be able to do that for the boys. So yeah, that would be that's my number 1 for sure.
Fantastic. And have you got any concerns, or are you just concerned for all the other competitors once you guys get there?
No, I haven't got any concerns actually. I'm feeling pretty good about the whole thing. Yeah,
I'm meaning all the other countries once the New Zealand team arrives, just to be clear. I'm not worried about you guys.
It's like public speaking, you just picture everyone naked. I'm not worried about the other competitors and the other nations. We know we've got probably more of an advantage than the people from the Med, so that's what I'll be putting my energy towards, is not worried about that. I'm bloody competitive at the best of stages, so yeah, I'm looking forward to looking up for these guys and making sure they're in front of anyone else. So I've got no concern.
Awesome. Super exciting. I just really do think that you guys are going to do such an amazing job for New Zealand. I'm real excited to see how you do. I'm going to be following along the whole time and stalking the group chat the whole time and be like, oh, what are you doing now? Like, manage to stick in there. You can boot me out anytime. That's fine. Laura, have you got anything else that you'd like to add?
Depends how lame my joke is, but I'm just wondering, I've got one last question for you all, but pre that, you know how Tour de France works and they draft and like some dude like masters the hill and like slays his legs and the other dude gets to go like win? I've only just been thinking about, would that work for spearfishing? Like, could you work as a team and get rid of all the other dudes and like, sacrifice some people just so you can win? Is that a thing? It's probably not.
Probably,
Dwane's already
we could
shaking
probably
his-
go back to South Africa, could we? And we just do a bit of food poisoning, and that'd be pretty good the day before.
We have joked about someone just like that, obviously there's a local favourite or someone who's a favourite to win, just following them all day and sacrificing, just jumping in on top of them and diving down and scaring the fish. And so, yeah, no, you're right. You actually probably could do that.
Bit of that happened at Inter-Pacifics, I know, so it's probably not the way to go. But hey, look, if it doesn't work out for you guys, you let me know and I'll draft you up a Tour de France spearfishing tactic for next.
It didn't work for them at the Inter-Pacific, that particular boat. So, it's probably not the right thing to do either, is it?
I don't mean go jump on other people. I just mean work as a team to get the points. But anyway, sorry, moving on to our last question. I would love to ask all of you if you could choose a name for the New Zealand team. You know how we've got like the Black Sticks and the All Blacks and everything. What would you suggest being the New Zealand team name?
I mean, the classic is the Blackouts, isn't it?
Not bad. Not
The
bad.
Blackouts.
What about the Silver Shafts?
I don't hate it.
Silver Shaft's good. Yeah, it's a little bit Austin Powers with gold member, but I mean,
Reminds me a bit of the New Zealand badminton team.
the Black
What's theirs?
Cocks.
Black Shuttles.
Is
the
it?
Cocks,
It is,
yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Oh, awesome. That's so good.
Dwayne doesn't want to play this lame game, do you, Dwayne?
No, we actually once did have New Zealand blackfins written on our shirt. This is back in, I don't know, early 2000s. For one Inter-Pacific, someone came up with blackfins, but that's the only thing I've got.
I think the Surf Lifesaving has something similar. I can't think what
Underwater
it is.
hockey are the Blackfins as
There
well.
you
So,
go.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You can't stamp on another code's thing, can you?
No, this was before underwater hockey existed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they can line up. Kieran's in the dark, but have you got one, Kieran?
I got nothing. No. And my camera just did something weird and I can't turn it back on. So, yeah.
Spearo
That's
Diaries.
Whatever you're eating.
Don't lie to us.
See that training pizza you got there, like.
Well, we don't want to keep you
Awesome.
guys much longer, so I will finish off my part just by saying I hope you guys have a glorious time. I hope you have magical memories made, and it'd be great if you could get what it is you want. That is, the titles you're all pushing for, and I hope you have a glorious time, and I look forward to hearing how you guys go when you get back.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. Super appreciate it.
Thanks, girls.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks to the New Zealand team for making time to chat with us with all they had going on before leaving. Hopefully, we can bring you a post-trip debrief from the boys as well on a future episode.
New Zealand spearfishing isn't a heavily recognised or funded sport, and all of these great humans have full-time jobs and families to juggle with being athletes at this world-class level. We really admire their commitment, skill and wisdom, and we're proud of them for heading over to represent Aotearoa regardless of how they do.
But at the same time, yeah, the boys! We wish big things and big successes for them, all as individual competitors and as a New Zealand team in Brazil.
We can't wait to see how the boys go against some of the other world-level competitors. And if you want to keep up with how they're doing, check the New Zealand Spearfishing New Zealand Facebook page for their progress, and team manager Jeff will be doing some updates.
As always, let us or who we've talked to know that you've enjoyed hearing what they've had to say. Share the legends, share the froth, and share these chats to some other Spearos you know. Until next time, toodles!